Yes, okay, exactly right. So first of all, I want to point out two things here, right? Again, what we're trying to do, right, is to show that we're trying to write the equation of a line parallel to this given one that goes through this point, okay? We use the fact that parallel lines have the same slopes, okay, to take the slope from this line and use it in our line. Sean wanted to also say, hey, wait a minute though, there's a y-intercept right here. Can't we just say that our b will also be 4? But here's the problem. If this line has a slope of 1 and a slope of, or a y-intercept of 4, and our line has a slope of 1 and a y-intercept of 4, what will those two lines look like when we graph them? Like if I graph y equals x plus 4 and then I graph y equals x plus 4 again, what's going to look like? It's the same line. Are they parallel if they're the same line? No, they're not, right? So in other words, we don't want to use the y-intercept from this line. So don't use that, okay? Students are often tempted to use this because they're like, oh, look, there's a b, let's just use it here. But if you have the same slope and the same y-intercept, it's the same line. And so they're not going to be parallel, they'll be the same line. So Sean's right. We have to use this point right here. 2 in for the y, 2 in for the x, and solve for b. So 2 times 1, 2. Subtract 2 from both sides. Okay, and so we're left with 0 equals b, or y equals 1x plus 0.
So it's not undefined.
Right, it's not undefined because again, it's b is 0 here, so we can just say y equals x if you like to. So this is fine, but also this is fine. It means the same thing. Okay, so again, think about what we did here. We found a slope, we found the y-intercept using a point, and then boom, we wrote the equation of the line. Okay, I'm going to hold off on number 2 for right now. That one's a little bit tricky, I think. But let's take a look at number 3 and try this one as well. Okay, so we want to come up with the equation of a line that goes through 2, negative 4, and is parallel to y equals 3x plus 2. Okay, so again, to write the equation of a line, what information do we need? What do we need? We need to write the equation of a line, we need a slope and a y-intercept, okay? These are the questions you guys should ask yourself when you're going to write the equation of a line, okay? So, Dylan? Nope, not right now. You have to wait now. All right, we're going to go through this one next problem here, and then I'll let you go, all right? What is the slope of our line going to be? 3. How did you know? Right, if we want to be parallel to this one, our slope also has to be 3. So we have y equals 3x plus, is our y-intercept also going to be 2?
No.
Can't, right? So don't use it. Just take the slope out. Okay, and we'll write plus b for right now. We got to come up with the b. Okay, so Mark, how can I come up with the b here? What do I need to do? I have a point that my line goes through. How can I use that?
Negative 4 is your y.
Yeah.
And then 2 is your x.
Yes. And we're going to solve for the y-intercept. So 3 times 2 is 6. Okay, subtract 6 on both sides. We have negative 10 equals b. Is this my final answer? No. Yes, y equals 3x minus 10. Boom, there it is. Okay, easy. Okay? Easy. Take the slope from the other line, okay, and then use that point to then come up with the y-intercept, okay? So again, we're coming up with an equation of a line that is parallel to another one, okay, but also we want our line to go through the point 2, negative 4 as well, okay? Let's try one more here together, all right? Oh, sorry, there we go. All right, so number 4. Okay, let's go to Catherine. Catherine, what will the slope of our line have to be? If we want our line to go through the point 2, negative 1, and we want our line to be parallel to y equals 2/5 x plus 3, what must the slope of our line be? Two-fifths, yeah, exactly right. Or sorry, it's negative 2/5, isn't it? I can't read. Negative 2/5. So y equals negative 2/5 x plus b. Great job, Catherine. All right, and let's go to then Tyler L. So Tyler L, I need to come up with the y-intercept for my line. Is my y-intercept going to be 3? No. How can I then come up with the y-intercept here? What do I need to use? Or what can I do? I'm going to zoom in some. What should we do here, Tyler? Not sure? Okay, so remember, Tyler, my line, this line right here, has to go through the point 2, -1. Right? So that means that this point should work in my equation. Like, I should be able to plug it in and use it. So I'm going to do that. Put -1 in for what variable? Well, isn't this a y-intercept? It's just a y-coordinate. So we're actually going to put it in for the y variable right there. And then what can I put in for x?
2.
The 2. Because remember, Tyler, we're going to solve for the y-intercept here. We're going to solve for it. So we don't plug it in for b. That's a y-coordinate. Goes in for the y. Okay, so multiply. -2/5 times -2, -4/5. Okay, and then Tyler, what would I do to both sides here to finish solving? For the b, what should I do here to both sides? Not divide. It's not -4/5 times b. Yeah, we're going to add. What can we add to both sides? What can we add? We want to get the b by itself. The 1's on the other side, so we're okay with that. What's with the b that we need to get rid of, Tyler? So how to get rid of a -4/5? What should we do to both sides? Add 4/5 to both sides. Right. Okay, so -1 plus 4/5 is going to be -1/5. Okay, that's not our final answer, though. That's just the y-intercept. Now we got to put it all together. Our slope of -2/5, our y-intercept of -1/5. There's the equation of the line. Okay. Questions on any of that? Okay. So that's how we would do it with parallel lines. All right. Now I want to talk about. No, I want you to stick around for this too, Dylan. I'm sorry. Dylan, if you really need to go, Dylan, I know you regularly need to go. Honestly, you should go during lunch. You're going to miss class. And maybe that's your whole purpose, is so that you can miss class. But you should be here for this stuff, because I'm going to show you something else. And if you would go to the bathroom right now, you're going to miss out. Okay? So you need to be here for this stuff. All right. Let's go to number 5 here. Number 5 says, now our line's going to go through the point 1, -5. I'll let you go after this one, though. Okay, Dylan? Just hold on for one more problem. Our line is going to go through the point 1, -5, but now it's not going to be parallel. It's going to be perpendicular. You guys know what it means for something to be for two lines to be perpendicular? Okay, they do intersect, but they intersect and they create what kind of angle? A right angle. Yeah. Okay. So our line is going to go through this point and be perpendicular to this one. Okay, and then this. Well, I'm just going to have to tell you this one. Okay. If we have perpendicular lines, I'll zoom in here. Okay, so we're up where we put parallel lines. If you have perpendicular lines, okay, their slopes are opposite reciprocals. Oops, I'm off the screen. Okay. Okay, perpendicular lines have opposite reciprocal slopes. And this is just something you're going to have to remember, guys, okay? You're just going to have to remember it, okay? So, what does opposite mean? Well, if one slope's positive, the other one will be what?
Negative.
And if one slope's negative, the other one will be what?
Positive.
Okay, so that's easy enough, right? So let's go back down here. So here, what's the slope of this line? Positive 1/8. So that means ours is going to be positive or negative? Negative. So we're going to have y equals negative. And then it's not just opposite. They're opposite reciprocals. What does it mean to do the reciprocal of something? You flip it. So then positive 1/8 becomes negative what? 8/1. That's it. That's a perpendicular slope. And we'll put the plus b there as well. Okay? So we took positive 1 over 8, and we make it negative 8 over 1. And that's our perpendicular slope. And after this, it's the same thing. Okay? So to find our y-intercept here, okay, Simon, what can I put in for the y here?
You could put in negative 5.
Negative 5 is right. And then what can I put in for the x?
You could put in 1.
1, exactly right. And then we'll solve for the b. Again, do not use that plus 2 there. That's not, we're not going to use that information at all. We kind of throw it out. Okay? So let's just simplify here. Negative 8 times 1 is negative 8 equals negative 5 there plus b. Okay, so we'll add 8 to both sides. Okay, and we get 3 equals b. Whoops, I'm off the screen. There we go. So the final answer is y equals negative 8 over 1x plus 3. Or if you like, you can just make it y equals negative 8x plus 3. That's also fine there. You like that? You like that better, Alex? All right, Dylan. You may go now. Thank you for waiting. Say again? Yeah. All right, can we do one more together? Yes? You think it's pretty easy? I hope so. You don't think so?
I said yes, no, maybe so.
Yes, no, maybe so? That would cover all of our options.
Depends what the class is.
I guess so.
It's not yes, no, maybe so.
All right, there we go. Number 6 it is. Here we go. All right, so now the next one. We're going to go through the point 4, negative 1, and we're perpendicular to y equals x plus 2. Okay? So yeah, hang on. Okay, so Alex, what's the slope of this line?
Y equals x plus 2.
Okay, that's the equation. You just wrote it. You read it out. What number is the slope of this line? X is not a number. Well, I guess it is.
We have 2 as the y-intercept, but we don't know the slope.
Well, what number could I put in front of this x, though, right here?
1.
A 1. So the slope is 1. Or as a fraction, 1 over 1, right?
See, I was doing something really weird because when I was first working with this stuff a while back, I had one teacher that said a 1, like over a 1, doesn't mean anything, and then the next year I had another teacher.
I said it does mean something.
Yes, I was really confused, but the teacher I had before was like really loud, so I just remembered that one.
Yeah, I understand. So I need to be louder so you remember mine more?
No, I'll try my best.
Okay, thank you, Alex. I appreciate it. So, what's the question, Sky? Be aggressive. Be aggressive.
They taught me stuff, and if I didn't do it, they did me.
Okay. Well, there you go. Using the Board of Education. So anyway, let's yes. Okay, so she's a girl, so she's going to a different place. So anyway, back to this though. Back to this. Okay. So the slope of this line is 1 over 1, Alex, right? The slope of this is 1 over 1. So if we're going to be perpendicular to this slope, that means I need the opposite of this. So if this is positive 1 over 1, our slope is going to be
Negative.
Alex. I want Alex. Thank you, Sean, though. This slope is positive. Our slope is going to have to be then what? Negative. And this one's 1 over 1. So what's the reciprocal of 1 over 1? 1 over 1 again. Yeah, it's kind of silly, but that's what I have to say.
Do 1 over 1. Why can't you say like 1?
You could. But I think, again, writing a slope as a fraction, I think it gives you more information. It shows you the rise and the run at the same time. If you just give the whole number, there's the negative 1 doesn't give you the rise. You have to like assume it. Anyway, maybe you're right, Alex. Maybe it's too much. All right, we're not done though, Alex. Are we?
No, we're not.
What do we still have to do?
I have to do the equation, so
You could do.
I got to find the y-intercept, right?
Yeah.
So
You could just plus. You need to change that to a 1. Right?
a negative 1 because we put the y coordinate in there. And what goes in for the x?
Just 1. Negative 1. Negative 1.
What's the x coordinate of this point here?
Negative 1. Or no, 4.
4. Okay. Again, Alex, we're using this point because we know our line has to go through this point. So that means the 4 needs to go in for the x, and negative 1 goes in for the y, and we can solve for that y-intercept. Okay. Negative 1 over 1 times 4, negative 4. Okay. And then, Alex, what's our final step here to get the b by itself?
It's just 1 divided by 4.
Y divide.
Or no, subtracting this addition.
So it's Plus b, but how do we get rid of a negative 4? What do we do? Plus 4 to both sides. Okay, so b equals 3. So y equals negative 1 over 1x plus 3, or if Alex likes, because his teacher yelled at him that one time, negative 1x plus 3. Okay, either one is fine there. Okay, so long story short, all the problems that we've, sometimes it's okay to be yelled at if it's for the right reasons. Anyway, all the problems we've been doing up to this point, when we write the equation of a line, right? So big picture, we're writing equations of lines. We need a slope and a y-intercept. And all the different kinds of days we've been doing, we've had different information given to us. Okay? Sometimes we're given the slope and the y-intercept. So boom, you can write the equation. Sometimes we're given the slope and a point. So you have to plug the point in with the slope, solve for the y-intercept. Sometimes we're given 2 points. That was yesterday, right? You're just given 2 random points. You have to use the slope formula and then plug in one of the points into the equation to find the y-intercept. Today, what's different? Today we're talking about parallel and perpendicular lines, but we're still writing equations, okay? The key thing here is that if you're trying to find parallel lines, you know that they're going to have the same slope, okay? And if you have perpendicular lines, that means the slopes will be opposite reciprocals. That's the only difference. That's the only new thing for today. Everything else, it's still the same process. Find the slope of your line, find the y-intercept of your line, okay? There's nothing different, really, not too much more different than just these 2 little pieces of information right here. And that's it, okay? I know it's still difficult and still tricky. There's a lot of, kind of thinking you have to do as you navigate these problems. But don't lose sight of the big picture. Anytime you're trying to write the equation of a line, find the slope, find the y-intercept. It's how you find them. That is what changes. Yeah, Sean. When Dylan comes back. I'm sorry. I know. If we go, it takes much longer. We might have to go send a search party. He might have fallen in. So.
We're going to do number 2.
So, yeah, let's go through number 2 here real quick. Hopefully. I got you. So, so what I'm going to have you guys do then is on the back. Well, let's do number 2 real quick because I do want to talk about this one briefly here. Okay, so we want to write the equation of a line parallel to x equals 0. Okay, the equation of a line parallel to x equals 0. So x equals 0, if we were to graph that, what kind of line would that be? Straight line. Well, all of our lines have been straight lines, right? But what's special about this one? It's vertical. Okay, its slope will be undefined. Okay. Our line also needs to have an undefined slope and be vertical. And it goes through the point 4, 3. So when you have a vertical line, that means the equation is x equals a number. So what will our number be here?
0.
Not 0. X equals 0 is this line. We want to be parallel to this one. 4. Okay, where'd you get the 4 from, Hannah? Yeah, it's the x coordinate here. Okay, for our line to be vertical and to go through this point, it's just got to be the equation of the line x equals 4. That's the final answer. That's it. There's not really work to be done there. Okay, that's the best I can kind of show. Okay. So, yeah, Matt T?
Is it the same way if it's perpendicular to it?
So if it's perpendicular to it, now we're not talking about x equals. It's going to be a horizontal line, so that'll be y equals. So, after Sean.
Can you just for maybe more than me? So x equals 4. We talked our way through it, but you can't write down any sort of like
Work for
y
it.
equals anything to help me get that. You know, I
Not
just
really,
don't
no.
understand that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay then.
Yeah. That one's.
problem there.
It was the fastest, but I think conceptually it's going to be the hardest one to get to grasp. So, what I want for the rest of you guys to work on then for the remainder of class, okay, I'm going to have you do 2 parallel and 2 perpendicular problems. Ignore these directions here. Still just do slope-intercept form. So I would like to do 7, 8, 9, and 10. So there's 2 perpendiculars, there's 2 parallels, okay? 7, 8, 9, and 10, please. Ignore the fact they want you to write in standard form, just do it in slope-intercept, okay? You got 4 problems to get it done here, or else it's going to be homework, all right? So go ahead, work on those 4, please, and I'll come around and help you too. Okay? Remember, parallel lines, same slope. Perpendicular lines, opposite reciprocal slopes. When Alex comes back, when Sean comes back, there's a line. Negative 9/5, -4. Yeah, good job, Carson. Well done. Awesome. No, I understand. I'm gonna tell people. I'm gonna finish writing the answers here, and I'll let people come take a look if they want to. No, it's Alex's turn. Alex, Sean's back if you want to hit the bathroom, okay? After Alex comes back, then you can go, okay, Mark? Question? Yeah. Okay. If you finish, or you want to come up and check on your answers, I have all four finished up here. Okay, on the desk. If you want to take a look and check the answers. Okay. It is not reading copy. So it's opposite and reciprocal. So both negative and flip.
So it would be the way. So it would be y equals -9/5.
X plus b.
2 point. How do you get 5/2?
Because it's the 3 multiplied by 3.
I got 2.5.
It's not just opposite.
I got 11/2.
Reciprocal. Like -9/5. Okay. Same thing. I'm okay with that. I'm okay now. That is not. This should be positive 1/2. So it's opposite and reciprocal. So you reciprocated, but it should be positive 1/2. Okay, Tyler? And it's okay to make the opposite 2. So if it's -2, you should make yours positive 1/2. Okay. Yes, 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 yes. Watch where you put them. Okay, very important.
Mr. Wood. So I got confused. This, you know, if you have it C plus B.
The reason is because parallel and perpendicular lines are only related by their slopes. That's it. Their y-intercepts may be the same, but most likely will not be the
So
same.
we're gonna use the y plus B.
Yeah.
Because I'm down here, I've got -4 is negative b, so b must be 4.
Right. No. Yeah, I just make it plus b, and then it'll solve it. Nice. For right now, we'll check it tomorrow. Good job, though. Keep up the good work, person.
I don't have a foot.
Remember, folks, okay, this is homework tonight. If you don't finish it, and if you are called by Mr. Goff tomorrow, okay, that means you're going to be going over your quick mini quiz today, okay? So you need to do better. You don't quite understand. Okay? Please go to Mr. Goff tomorrow if he calls you. Okay? It is for your good. He will help you. So have a seat, please. Have a seat, please, in the chair. Very good. Have a seat, please, in the chair, folks. Have a seat, please, till the bell rings. Have a seat, please, in the chair, Reagan. Thank you. Kate and Matt T. Alex, have a seat, guys, in the chair. Your butt in a chair, please. Bye, folks. Have a good day. Go to Mr. Ross tomorrow if he calls you. It's a good feeling, isn't it, Carson?
The grape is more better now.
Yeah. That's awesome, Carson. Good job.